Hello everyone, I hope that you're all well. My name is Louise and welcome to this special presentation on mindfulness for Christmas for Westmeath County Libraries for the Healthy Ireland programme. So in this presentation I'm going to talk a little bit about mindfulness and maybe how you can bring some more mindfulness and self-compassion and kindness for yourself and others to your lives over this holiday season. So first of all, I'll talk a little bit about what mindfulness is. So mindfulness is a practice where we bring our focus on purpose to the here and now, to the present moment with kindness and with non-judgment. And we know that about half of the time we're not actually in the moment, so that's what the research tells us. So that means we're missing out on half of our lives, so we're off somewhere mind wandering. And it's a bit like we have a monkey mind, so this monkey mind is jumping all around the place and it's jumping to the future and the past and to ourselves and to other people, and it's so busy and we miss out on a lot of our lives. And also we know that we have this negativity bias, so this is the brain's tendency to focus on what's wrong rather than what's right. And this is there from thousands of years ago, or more than that, when we were maybe living out in the wild and we needed to know if there was danger in our environment. So we would naturally focus on what is wrong, maybe that there's a lion chasing us or that there's danger, rather than actually what's right. So that manifests as that we can have a great day and everything can go well, but the one thing that goes wrong we kind of focus on. So basically we know that about half of the time our minds aren't in the moment, and a lot of those thoughts are negative. So with mindfulness, what we're practicing doing is actually being here for more of our lives, turning up for more of our lives, and turning up in a way that's kind and compassionate and non-judgmental for both ourselves and others. So it sounds good, and it is good, but it can be difficult. And I'm going to guide you through some practices today. In a lot of ways, it's the simplest thing in the world, but also the most difficult thing in the world, because we tend to find it very hard to actually be in the moment. Our minds are constantly busy and moving and getting caught up in worries and stress. And this can be even more so maybe during holiday periods like Christmas. So the best thing to do is to begin practicing for us to start with mindfulness, because we can talk about mindfulness and we can understand about it on a cognitive level, but really we need to experience it directly. So it needs to be experienced on a physiological or experiential level, really, for us to fully understand it. So when you're ready and if you're comfortable, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes and just beginning to notice your breathing. And just noticing your breathing in and your breathing out. So just being with your breath. What does it feel like to breathe in and breathe out? Just knowing when you're breathing in and knowing when you're breathing out. Being with your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. What does it feel like to breathe in and breathe out? Just aware when your mind is moving or wandering into thoughts, which will happen, and just gently and kindly letting any thoughts arise go and come back to your breath. Come back to noticing what it feels like to breathe. And when you're ready, you can take your time and you can open your eyes. Okay, so I wonder how that was for you. So usually when we begin to practice like this, we notice our mind very busy, and we'll notice that we can be with the breath 1 minute or 1 second and then we're gone the next. So it takes a bit of practice, and mindfulness is really something that we need to practice. It's not something that we kind of do once and then we understand. It's actually more like exercise. So it's a little bit like exercise for your brain. So, we exercise physically to keep our body fit, and mindfulness is like an exercise for our brain to keep our minds, our minds healthy and well. So let's have another practice. So when you're ready, you can take your time and closing your eyes again. And again, just beginning to notice the breath and just being with your breathing as you breathe in and as you breathe out. So what does it feel like to breathe in and breathe out? Being with the waves of your breathing. Just being with the gentle waves of your breathing. And just noticing your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Just aware when your mind has moved or wandered into thoughts and just letting the thought go and coming back to the breath. Just being with your breath. Again, what does it feel like to breathe in this moment? Letting everything else go, letting your mind calm and clear and relax. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Just resting in this moment, being here, following your breath. Again, just aware of your mind as it moves and letting go of any thoughts that arise and coming back then to your breathing, to this moment, to the here and now. Take your time. When you're ready, you can open your eyes again. So hopefully you're kind of maybe getting some hang of it now. It takes a while, and what we'll do is we'll do a few practices, and that will maybe help you get more of a sense of how to practice. And just to say that there's a lot of science that supports mindfulness practice, so it's not just kind of some airy-fairy thing, and there's a huge amount of research that supports it now, and that research is growing all the time. And the research shows benefits in a few different areas. So we know that it's very beneficial for our mental health and very good for anxiety and depression and any most mental health issues, but also just to promote positive mental health. And we know that it's very beneficial for our cognitive functioning, so like our attention, our memory, our focus, concentration. So excellent for maintaining and supporting our cognitive functioning, and very good even for our physical health. So research shows that it reduces blood pressure, boosts the immune system, very good for some physical issues like IBS or autoimmune disorders, skin issues, and kind of the list goes on, and also very beneficial for our relationships, promoting happy and healthy relationships. So just to let you know, when we're doing all these practices, that these are actually scientifically supported practices that have a lot of evidence behind them. So let's do one more breathing practice and then we'll continue. So as we're practicing like this, it's like we give ourselves anchors. So it's anchors to bring our mind into the moment. So the anchors can be things we can see or hear or touch or smell or taste, or they can be our breath. And it's almost like we've this monkey in our mind and we're giving our monkey a job to do. So we're giving him the job of noticing your breath. And as we practice like this, these are called formal mindfulness practices. We can do these at any stage during the day. It's nice to do one maybe in the morning and maybe one in the evening. And particularly maybe during the Christmas period when there is a bit more stress and when there is a lot going on. There's a lot of excitement, but maybe also some stress, and often sometimes it brings up difficult emotions. But even taking some time to do a short formal practice in the morning and one in the evening can really help. You can even start with a 1 minute practice. So 1 minute in the morning and 1 minute in the evening. And then as you progress, you can increase the time, and you can just do this yourself, or there's so many free resources on the internet. If you look on I have a couple of different Facebook or YouTube channels, Skylark Mind and Creative Mindfulness. But on Creative Mindfulness, I have a nice mindfulness of the breath meditation that you can just play for as long as you like. So you can do a minute, you can do 2 minutes, you can do 3 minutes, you can do 10 minutes, whatever feels good for you. So let's do one more mindfulness of the breath meditation. And again, we'll try a little longer this time. When you're ready, you can close your eyes. We'll just try a little longer this time. But again, just being with and noticing your breathing. And just noticing your breathing in, your breathing out. So just being with the waves of your breathing. And just noticing what it feels like to breathe in this moment. Just being with your waves of your breath, your breathing in and your breathing out. Just aware when your mind has moved or wandered away. And you just let that thought go and you come back to your breath. Come back to your breathing. Come back to the moment. So your breath would always bring you back to the moment. Back to the here and now. Just noticing your body now, because as we practice mindfulness, it's nice to really rest and relax our body. So bringing your awareness down to your belly, just seeing, can you soften, relax your belly, letting go of any tension, tightness, letting it melt away. Relaxing your shoulders, the right side and the left side. Letting any tension melt. Relaxing your right jaw and your left jaw. Relaxing your forehead. Again, feeling any tension or tightness melt in your forehead. Relaxing around the eyes, between eyes. Letting the whole body now relax a little bit more. Again, feeling any tension melt away, so letting the whole body soothe and soften and relax, and just being with your breath. So just connecting to your breath and being with the waves of your breathing. Just letting everything else go, letting the past go, letting the future go. Just being in this moment, resting with your breath in this moment, giving your mind a rest, giving your body a rest. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Just being here, breathing, breathing and relaxing. and relaxing and breathing. And just noticing your mind if it wanders away, and just letting any thoughts that arise go and come back to your breath. Again, just noticing your breathing and really allowing your mind to calm, letting everything go, letting go of the thinking and doing, and just connecting to this beingness. And we'll do this for a few moments, and then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And just checking in with how you feel as well after practicing the meditation. So how do you feel in your body and in your mind and in your heart, and just noticing any difference and the impact that it has on you. And I always know with me that when I practice, even if it is just for a minute, it does have that calming effect, and it can just help us just rest a little bit more and clear our minds. And that's especially important during the Christmas period, because there is so much busyness and there can be stress, and of course it can be exciting as well, but it can just help us slow down that little bit and really connect to the moment and connect to ourselves with softness and with kindness. So we don't actually have to do this with our eyes closed. That's the formal practice, but we can also practice mindfulness informally. I think this is really important as well, especially over the Christmas period. And that's really just asking yourselves, am I in this moment? Because remember, when I talked about the research, we said that actually half the time our minds are not in the moment, they're somewhere else. So, and this can be applicable to anything that we're doing. So for example, when we're visiting our relatives or something like that, and just when we're sitting chatting, just asking ourselves, am I in this moment or am I somewhere else? So am I, thinking about what I have to do tomorrow or on my phone? And just seeing, can I come back and be here and just maybe listen to what they're saying and notice what you can see and hear and touch and smell and taste around you. So our senses will always bring us back to the moment, and it can be the same even when there's lots of lovely food over Christmas. So when we're eating Christmas dinner, and often we eat a lot, and mindful eating can be very helpful, because often we're not really paying attention, or maybe there's a big box of chocolates and we're just kind of eating, going through them and not actually realizing, and then we've ate 10 chocolates. I know I've done that myself before quite a lot. So it's actually of slowing down and really paying attention and being here and connecting to the food that we eat. So again, it's just, slowing down, tasting the food, and almost like imagining, I've never had this food before. So when you're sitting down to your Christmas dinner, it's usually a nice meal, and almost like you've never had a Christmas dinner before, just slowing down and chewing the food and really tasting. And it can actually help you eat less. So that's what I found personally in my own life, and I think that's something a lot of people find, that when we slow down and eat mindfully, it can help us eat less food. So that's an interesting one. But it can help you, enjoy all those nice, sensory moments during Christmas. And the same with things like beautiful moments, like things like opening presents or time with your children, or like children's excitement in the morning. Like, so really being there for those moments rather than being distracted or on our phones or caught up in yesterday. And how we do that is we just ask ourselves, am I here? Am I in this moment? And if I'm not, notice. So bring your focus to your breath, bring your focus to what you can see and hear and smell and touch and taste. And that will bring you back into the moment. So the thing with mindfulness is that the mind is so busy, the monkey mind, that we have to keep bringing ourselves back kind of again and again and again. So you'll notice that throughout the day as you practice this, your mind will be constantly going off and getting distracted, and just making that conscious effort to bring the focus back. every time we do this, it's actually like a push-up for the brain. It's like we're training our brain. And the research does show us this, that even after 8 weeks of practicing mindfulness, that our brain actually starts to look differently. And the part of the brain which is related to kind of stress and anxiety, which is called the amygdala, that actually decreases in size. And the part of the brain that's related to, managing our emotions, kind of reflective thinking, being rational, like the higher order thinking and functioning, that actually increases in size after only 8 weeks. So it's amazing. It is a bit like exercise for our brain. So again, it's not to be disheartened if you're finding it hard, but just keep coming back and keep bringing yourself back into the moment. And by doing this, then we're actually turning up for our lives more. Sometimes we are waiting the whole year to have time off, to enjoy time with our family and friends, and then when it comes, sometimes we're not really fully there for it, or we're distracted, or on our phones, or worrying. So it's a way of really enjoying those beautiful moments of our lives. And there really is so many of these beautiful moments over Christmas, isn't there? So just before we finish on that part, I'm going to do a listening meditation. So we can change the anchor from the breath to sound. So as I said, you can use any of your senses to bring you into the present. If you focus on them, they'll bring you in. And we can use sound. Listening is a great one. So we're just going to listen to the sounds around us. So again, when you're ready and if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. And just beginning to listen to the sounds around you, and just beginning to notice by noticing the sound of your own breath or any other sounds coming from yourself. And just gently listening. And now just expanding your awareness to any sounds coming from the room that you're in. Might be anything at all. Maybe radiator or movement or beeping, or so just listening, just bringing our full attention to any sounds coming from the room we're in, and just remembering to relax as well. So we relax as we practice, and now just expanding that awareness to any sounds coming from outside the room that you're in. So that might be traffic sounds or people sounds or nature sounds. Again, just aware, just listening. Just listening to any sounds you can hear coming from outside. And aware of your mind when it's caught up in thinking again. That will happen, and that's okay. We just let the thought go and come back to listening. And then we can just be with the movement and the play of sounds, and just noticing sounds are moving and changing in every moment. And that every moment is different to the moment before. So there's almost like a movement to the sounds around us. So just listening. And aware when you're somewhere else. You can just label that thinking if you want. That can be helpful. And then just come back to listening again. Just listening to any sounds that's around you. We'll just do this for a few more moments. And when you're ready, then you can take your time and you can open your eyes. Great. So that's the listening meditation. Again, you'll find that listening meditation on my channel. It's Creative Mindfulness Kids on YouTube. if you want to practice more. But again, you can just do it yourself as well. And remember that there's the formal and the informal practice with mindfulness. So the formal practice is when we're not doing anything else, maybe we're closing our eyes and focusing on our breath or sounds or something else. And then the informal practice is just bringing your focus to whatever's happening throughout the day. So again, when you're, having Christmas dinner, be there having Christmas dinner and aware when your mind moves, and then bring it back. And when your kids are opening presents, just be there in the moment with them and notice their joy and their excitement. And again, if you're distracted, come back. And if you're going for a walk outside, being there for that walk, and just aware again when your mind moves. And as you practice this, you notice your mind is constantly moving, and this is the monkey mind, and we all have this. And remember, mindfulness is not about stopping your thoughts, because it's impossible to stop thoughts. It's the nature of the mind to think the same way as it's the nature of the heart to beat. But we can learn to notice when we're thinking and let those thoughts go and connect back to the present. Okay. So I'm going to move on to some self-compassion practice. And self-compassion practice is all about being a kind friend to ourselves. And we're often told to be kind to others, but rarely we're actually told to be a friend to ourselves. And it's something that I feel really passionate about. And I feel like that we all should be just as kind to ourselves as we are to others. And often when we think about it, we'll actually treat others with a lot more kindness and understanding than we do ourselves. So it can be really interesting just to notice how you treat yourself, or what kind of words do you say to yourself, and would you treat someone else the way you treat yourself? It's a big one to notice. And I guess over Christmas time, it can be difficult, and it can be a difficult time for a lot of people. And we can put pressure on ourselves to have everything perfect, and because we're meant to be happy, we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be having the best time. But often it can be difficult, and it can be overwhelming, and it can be stressful. So it's very important to be kind to yourself during these times, and to be gentle and soft with yourself. And really, again, treating yourself like you would a really good friend. So I'm going to do a self-compassion based meditation with you now. It's called the Self-Compassion Break, and it's inspired by Kristen Neff. So when you're ready, and if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. So just noticing something that you might be finding difficult right now. So it could be something about how you are as a person, your body, or your health, thoughts and feelings, or it could be something about your relationship, or maybe your work or financial situation. Just noticing that this is something that's hard, this is something that's stressful, this is painful. Just feeling into it and noticing this is a difficult situation. It's hard. You might even notice the feelings that are present. Also knowing that it really is okay to feel like you do, that it's okay to be in this situation and to feel like this. And also knowing that you're not the only one. So there's probably so many other people in the world who are feeling just like you are right now, and who are in situations just like you are. So you're not the only one. And actually, struggle and suffering and stress are part of life. This is part of being alive. It's part of being human. And although the type of suffering we experience may differ from person to person, we all find life difficult from time to time. We all find life hard from time to time. We all have our own stress and struggle and difficulty. So you're not the only one. This is what it means to be human, to struggle at times. And now imagining a really kind friend or person or being, and it could be even someone who's passed away, it could be an angelic being, it could be maybe a therapist you had, but just someone who's really there for you, who really gives you kindness and support and love. Imagine this person now and seeing their face and noticing their tone of voice and noticing how they respond to you. So what kind of attitude might they have towards you? And now seeing, can we bring this attitude towards ourselves? And noticing what words this person might say to you. See, can you really hear their words? Imagine them totally understanding the situation and understanding you and having no judgment. Really seeing the best in you. And again, seeing if you can hear their words now. Seeing, can we now let their words become your words to yourself? Seeing, can you bring this kindness and compassion and gentleness to yourself? So you can put one hand on your heart and one hand on your tummy. Imagine that your hands are filled up with kindness and compassion and love. And imagine this streaming through your hands towards your heart. Really hearing those kind words and really feeling the kind attitude that this person is bringing towards you, and seeing, can we bring this kindness and compassion towards ourselves? So we might say words like, it's okay to feel like this. You're doing the best you can. You're a good person. I'm here for you. Care about you. You're okay. Again, feeling this compassion flowing through your hands towards your heart. Breathing in kindness and care and love for yourself. And we're going to wish ourselves well now when we say, may I be kind to myself. May I be a friend to myself. May I accept myself just as I am. May I accept my life just as it is. Again, just notice how you feel. Again, wishing ourselves well one more time we say, may I be kind to myself. May I be a friend to myself. May I accept myself just as I am. May I accept my life just as it is. And again, feeling kindness and compassion flowing through your hands, towards your tummy, towards your heart, really holding your heart with care and compassion and love. Just noticing how you feel again in your body, in your mind and in your heart. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so that's a self-compassion break meditation, and it's inspired by Kristen Neff and Christopher Germer, and they have versions online that you can do. And we can also practice informally by just asking ourselves, how could I be a friend to myself in this moment? So even sometimes during Christmas we might be maybe critical of ourselves for putting on weight or not being as we should be, or feeling like we're not doing a good enough job for our family or for our kids. So asking ourselves, how can I be a friend to myself in this moment? How can I give myself what I need is another lovely question. So you're really beginning to nourish and care for yourself and look after yourself and be a good friend to yourself. So on that note, I think that will conclude this video, and we can just bring these two practices together with the Be Kind practice, which I'd encourage you to do throughout the Christmas period. And we can ask ourselves in any moment, how can I be? So, or how can I be more here? And we do that by just noticing our breath and noticing what I can see and hear and smell and touch and taste around me. So bringing ourselves more into the moment. And we can also ask ourselves in every moment, how can I be kind? So how can I be more kinder to myself, more gentle to myself? How can I be more of a friend to myself? When we've done that, we can talk about, we can think about how can we be kinder to the others around us. But I would encourage you to fill up your own cup first, because often we're so conscious of being kind to everybody else and helping everybody else that we kind of can neglect the self, and we don't look after our needs, and we can put ourselves down and we get drained and all of these things, and that can especially happen over Christmas. So maybe this Christmas take some time to really nurture yourself and really care for yourself and be a good friend to yourself, and you find that as you do that, it naturally flows out to others, and it's so much easier then to be kind and compassionate and loving to those around us. So I hope you found this video helpful. Again, just check out, I have a website, www.louiseshanagher.com, and lots of free resources, especially for kids. I do a lot of work for kids. And I've actually just released 3 books called the Mindfully Me, or the Kindfully Me series, which is all about helping children be kinder to themselves and others. So you can have a look at them as well if you like. And loads of free resources, online videos and workbook pages and meditations for kids and teens as well. So thank you so much for listening to this video, and wishing you all a really lovely Christmas, and I'll say bye for now.